My name is Sydney B. Morris, and I will be discussing the deep-rooted issues with sex reassignment surgery at birth. I decided to choose this particular topic because of the vast amount of information readily available on children who are born intersex. I wanted to focus on the discrimination and stereotypical associations that come with being born with ambiguous genitalia. This topic drew in my attention week 5 when we began discussing bodies and identities. During my presentation, I will cover the trauma that comes with these procedures, the historical background, and how the public has reacted to these surgeries that the child has no way of consenting to at such a young age. Beginning to understand more about this topic, I have come to the accumulation that these surgeries are unbelievably unnecessary and harmful. The cruel and indecent act that comes with gender reassignment surgery at birth causes deep trauma and political and social issues. I would like to first start off by defining intersex. Intersex is a condition when typical male or female physical factors do not line up. At least 1 in 2,000 people are born with atypical genitalia, according to Human Rights Watch, an international research and advocacy group. Thus, when a newborn sex was unclear, physicians would perform gender reassignment surgery. There are also over 30 variations of intersex conditions, and each one comes with pain and discrimination. To this day, individuals who are born intersex face prejudice on a daily basis. This is because people reject what they fail to understand. It is especially difficult for children who were given these sex reassignment surgeries. Oftentimes, genital reshaping surgeries do not work out as planned. They can cause lifelong physical and psychological pain, scarring, and loss of sexual sensation. Given that intersex conditions are not as rare as we might think, the practice of assigning all babies to one category, male or female, is less about what is natural and more of a means of forcing the sex binary into existence. Historically, the tendency in the West, in legal, medical, and religious affairs, has been to try to keep people sorted into clear male and female roles. In 1993, Beau Laurent, better known as Cheryl Chase, founds the Intersex Society of North America to end the shame, secrecy, and unwanted genital surgeries for people born with anatomy that someone decided is not standard for male or female. This is after she receives and goes through scrutiny of her own for being born intersex. Intersex activists during this time also protest treatment of intersex children at AAP National Conference in Boston, Massachusetts. After decades of activism and research, October 26th has been deemed International Intersex Awareness Day. There are many contributing factors to the cruel and clearly unnecessary surgeries that have occurred. When intersex children were born, before the 1960s, the people around them, parents and doctors, made their best guess and assigned the child a sex. Parents then reared them per social gender norms. This began to change as an increased amount of new parents began to question the validity of their doctors' opinions. Taking those questionable doctors' opinions to heart, parents put their children in vast danger from disease, psychological illness, etc. Those who are born intersex face discrimination in education, employment, healthcare, and sport. With the research that has been shown over the decades, we can see a direct correlation between poor health outcomes and sexual reassignment surgeries at birth. Finally, in 2012, activists convened the Second International Intersex Forum in Stockholm and write an open letter to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, highlighting the human rights issue intersex people face. Over time, with support and pressure from medical adults, these surgeries have been reduced, while making sure that parents and the patient now meet with a medical consultant before receiving and performing a sex reassignment surgery on a child who is not able to consent for the surgery themselves. Only a cruel parent would punish their son by making him wear a dress in public, or punish their daughter by shaving her head. That's psychological abuse. But for gender nonconforming kids, that's the everyday reality of their lives. We as a society need to understand that these individuals born with ambiguous genitalia are people too, and deserve the same respect and dignity as anyone else. Through my presentation, my hope is that you sympathize with the discriminated and go forth more compassionate, remembering that these surgeries are cruel and indecent acts that come with deep trauma and political and social issues.